Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is Niko, and this is my first book review. Um, Yay! Congratulations! Welcome here. This book I'm reviewing is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I did not read it. I actually listened to the audiobook thanks to the Libby app. I might do a video later on Libby. There's tons of videos out there on the topic. I'm just plugging it because it helps support local libraries. It gets access to books and audiobooks for free. The only thing you have to put up with is hold times, and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I'm plugging Libby. It's not sponsored, I promise. Uh, also, I have a cat in my lap. She's so horrible, isn't she? And then I have a dog sleeping on the couch. Sidebar. Anyways, welcome. This is again. I think I'm repeating myself. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree, and it is a cozy fantasy story, which is more like slice of life versus epic journeys and stuff like that. It's about Viv, who leaves behind her adventure and lifestyle to set up a coffee shop in a city yet to learn of coffee. One with a river port complete with dock workers and sailors. Which kind of like took me out of it just a little bit. Like I found it pretty difficult to believe like this semi low tech, mid tech fantasy setting didn't really have like coffee in other areas besides this one gnomish city where lots of gnomish inventions were made, which makes sense. I mean the gnomish part because as you know, coffee was one of the biggest contributors to the productivity of the Age of Enlightenment. It helped a lot of philosophers and inventors and stuff like that keep going and never sleep until they invented shit. Uh, but I'm probably exaggerating it a little bit there. There's a better source somewhere out there. I'm not here to play academics and cite my sources. No, no, we're not citing sources here. Just gonna take my word for it. Anyways, so like I said, the tech is pretty low. I think that's one of the things that took me out of it was not being able to understand how the city that had a major academic entity, other gnomes present. I think we only saw one or two in the main plot. Like I'm not counting her adventuring friend, whose name I am forgetting. I am bad at names, and I forgot to make a guide on names here. Um, but there was also this gnome mage who obviously is a chronomancer of some sort. Uh, Minor spoilers, maybe you'll find out when you get to him. Um, if I sprinkle in some minor spoilers, I apologize in advance. I don't think that's spoilerly though. Like I said, it's I like I said, I still find it hard to believe that this city just never heard of coffee in some way or form. It has a river port. People are going in and out of here, moving merchandise. Like someone had to have heard of coffee. Like maybe not a coffee shop, but at least coffee. But they drink tea. But that I guess it makes sense. I don't have an historical reference point for this. I'd have to refer to friends much smarter than me in the history of coffee and tea. So if you have insight onto the logistics of a riverport city not hearing about coffee in the setting, please let me know. Give me your insight. I would love to hear about it. Um, that was one of my big takeaways. My other thing was I didn't like the plot of convenience going on, and basically that's what I call it. It's like problem happens, protagonist finds convenient way to get out of that problem. But conversely, the way out of that problem was something I really like plot wise, which is the ideal that conflict can be avoided if people just communicate with one another and talk and work things out. So, but I kind of wanted a little bit more like, I don't know, time taken with those conflicts, like to kind of pepper into the slice of life, because I think slice of life is great when it's cozy, but there needs to at least be an element that adds a little bit of tension that's believable and lasts a little bit longer than what it did in this book. It made this book pace really fast. And I like my cozy books to be a little bit slower paced, if you catch my drift. I did like this book though. Like it's cozy. Thimble's the best character, hands down. Thimble's great. I love Thimble. Thimble is my favorite. I relate. Thimble is my spirit animal. I'm now gonna make a ratkin baker whenever I do my first table game somewhere. If I ever play a table game of D&D, probably not gonna happen. I have too much nerves to do physical presence D&D. And like I said earlier, it's very nice to read fantasy that's more cozy and less high adventure and epic journeys. Like I love the high adventure, I love the epic journeys, but sometimes you just need something nice to read. Um I did actually get to read book I did listen to Bookshops and Bone Dust just recently. I just finished it. That's why it inspired me to actually sit here and do the review for Legends and Lattes. Um I do I do love that it's a good sapphic read. It's not full of really problematic sapphic tropes, surprisingly written by a male author. As much as I hate the stereotype, male authors are really prone to write in very questionable sapphic romances where like, I don't know, just don't feel right. It's kind of like when I guess that's how some people feel about like other relationship types written by different demographics. But I digress. I digress a lot. I'm gonna say that a lot. I love digressing. Digressing is great. Digressing is the lifeblood of this channel, and my attention span doesn't exist. That's why this is unscripted. It's largely bullet points on a notepad I'm looking at right now. Like that's how like I'm getting through this. But Legends Lattes. I like the main cast being less traditional mainstays too of fantasy. Like you got an orc, a succubus. I actually thought she was a tiefling by the cover, so I was a little like thrown off by the succubus thing. At first, maybe that was one of the things I kind of didn't like. I wish she would have been like not a succubus and a tiefling of some sort. Maybe they couldn't use tiefling. I don't know. I mean, 5e's in the open domain. Eat it up, eat all of it up, eat up the D&D. But man, I could live in a D&D campaign where the whole thing is about the management of a coffee shop. Go out, get the goods, negotiate. But so many people want fucking high adventure games at a table. Um with big epic moments and I'm just like my character makes food on the road for the group and tries to talk their way out of problems. It's just the way they are. So I this is why I also really like Legends and Lattes. It's a different pace. It's something comfortable. Um the only thing I think when it comes to the sapphic romance I didn't enjoy was it felt kind of tiptoed around and once it was like out in the open and all came through fast, I think the romance in Bookshops and Bone Dust was done a lot better. Um but that's a topic for that video. I just feel like it was better paced overall. Um I do like the reveal with the Scalvert stone. That little twist at the end was great. No spoilers obviously, but there is a twist. Um that also falls into the plot of convenience problem I had too, so um God, it's a good read. I do recommend it. My final verdict is like I don't it's not a 5 of 5 for me. Like it's not perfect. It's not quite a 4. Recommend is usually a 3. I'd give it like a 3.5. Like a little bit close to a 4, but not quite a 4. But not a 5 because the plot of convenience thing kind of spoiled it for me. So 3.5 out of 5 stars for sure. And with a definite recommend if you want a cozy, nice slice of life fantasy versus your typical epic fantasy fare. Anyways, thank you very much for coming by, for watching me ramble about this book. Um, hopefully, I get a better comfort level as I work through book review videos. Um, like I said, Subscribe, hit the bell if you want to see future book reviews. Let me know in comments if you want to see me do more book content than video game content. A lot of the video game content I do is single player narrative driven games. Because that's what I want to focus on is story driven content. So books, manga, light novels, video games that focus on narrative instead of open world stuff. Yeah, that's my goal here. Visual novels, write-in stuff. Um, I'm having a moment. My brain just went on a blank. Let me sip my coffee. Um, yeah, cold brew that I make myself in my fridge. If you're ever curious about that, I can make a short about my cold brew coffee. It's not that hard. Um, not that hard. Oh, I'm veering off topic again. Anyways, thank you guys. Remember, Tacos Over Meta card sleeve design is available on my Ko-fi. It'll be linked down below in the description. You can also contribute to the channel. If you make a donation of a sizable donation and you recommend any books with that donation, I will put them on my to read list. Um, anything that's like something I'm really hard on not reading, like a Colleen Hoover book, because I've watched so many videos about them and never read one. Yeah, expect to need to pay for that kind of content. Contribute to that kind of content. I just don't like reading what I don't know I don't enjoy. And I know Coho is definitely up there. Maybe one day I'll pick a book I don't really enjoy to go through and talk about on stream so you guys can see how I react to reads I don't enjoy. Um, but yeah, Legends of Lattes. Highly recommend Slice of Life Fantasy. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Um, have a great day. And remember, support the channel, subscribe, hit that bell. Bye. And remember, take care of yourselves.